I look good.
Okay, on the street and I got my swag on. Okay, get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay, triple back, flip out the whole scene. Okay, all you suckers just don't wanna be me. So, get smacked, you looking black. I got the big stacks, I'm pushing stacks.
Now, first up on the list with this week's tea, the Olympics gagged for absolutely no reason. And let's talk about the U.S. Olympic Committee, who decided to sidestep science and decency to cozy up to Trump's executive order banning trans women from women's sports. No press conference, no real conversation, just a quiet little update to their 27-page athlete safety policy that somehow forgot to mention trans folks by name, but still banned us. Now, I need y'all to catch this foolery. Not one trans woman competed in the last Olympics, okay? Not one. So who exactly is this policy protecting? An imaginary Sha'Carri with a tuck and a titanium hamstring? I think not. They say that it's about competitive fairness, but nobody brings this energy when swimmers with rich daddies, private coaches, and pool access since birth are out here swimming. And if we want to talk about fairness, let's talk about the socioeconomic advantage baked into half of these events. This ain't about fairness, it's about fear. Fear of change, of inclusion, of anything that challenges whitewashed tradition. And once again, trans people become the scapegoat because of someone's uncle watching a TikTok and being too confused about chromosomes to actually do any research. But what's new? Now, for the Who's Playing in Our Face section of the show this week, we've got Jessica Bates and the Ninth Circuit Court, a woman in Oregon who wanted to adopt 2 kids out of foster care but made it real clear that she does not support the LGBTQ identity. Her reasoning was religion, and the court said, go ahead, mama, raise those queer kids that your God said is not valid.
But I would hope that we would have open communication where they do feel like safe, like they can talk to me about all of that and everything.
Now, how the hell do we keep letting folks weaponize religion to justify neglect? The Oregon policy requiring adoptive parents to accept and affirm children's gender identity and sexuality is not radical. It's basic human decency, but apparently that's too much for America in 2025. So let's be for real. You can't be called to raise children if you're unwilling to love them in their fullness, period. This isn't an agree to disagree. This is a you might traumatize the child before the dinner is even served. And while the court framed this as a win for religious liberty, all I see is a judicial stamp of approval on identity-based harm. Now for my favorite part of the show. Pop culture with purpose. And after months of posting workout updates and transformation photos, one that, let's be real, do accentuate his backside, Keith Lee came back online with a very specific message for y'all, okay? And that is, I am not gay, period, full stop. He even made a whole video series to clarify that point. Now, a lot of people are clapping and saying, yes, King, speak your truth. And I hear that, and we all deserve to define ourselves. But what I'm asking is, why now? Why does this response feel less like a personal boundary and more like a carefully timed PR move designed to appease straight Black men and Christian wives? Because let's be honest, this wasn't just about Keith being uncomfortable. This was about who was making him uncomfortable. Because had it been women, especially cis women, flirting and commenting on his body, would we have been seeing this entire respectability rebrand or no? I'm guessing nah. Women get hypersexualized daily online, and nobody's handing them viral validation when they say, hey, I'm not comfortable with y'all commenting me like that. But when a man, especially a straight Black one, receives attention from other men, suddenly it becomes a public morality lesson. It feels like what always happens when the Black community moves like this. The moment that a man isn't explicitly homo-negative, folks get suspicious, and then there comes the clarification for the need to prove heterosexuality in high definition. That pressure doesn't just come from the comment section. It comes from peers, from the church folks, from home, probably even those wives who would rather not deal with the questions at all. Keith might have meant well, but I want us to clock how fast the internet rushes to protect straight Black men's image, while queer folks out here having to justify and explain our humanity to just pee in peace. So this week, and what we not gonna do. Number 1. We not gonna pretend the U.S. Olympic Committee didn't roll over for Trump like a puppy needing a belly rub. Number 2, we not gonna act like religious freedom is a free pass to traumatize queer children. Parenting is not a mission trip. Number 3, we definitely ain't gonna keep applauding straight men for asserting their sexuality while ignoring the fact that their discomfort comes at the expense of queer folks, especially when their behavior and all of their things that they're doing to respond is what women deal with on a daily. So now that y'all are up to date on my favorite stories of last week, here's my final word. If the workout don't offend you, the insecurity of others shouldn't either. This week was a case study in how performance shows up in everything: politics, parenting, and even protein shakes. Whether it's the USOPC banning trans girls from competing in a game they never joined, a court handing queer kids unaccepting homes, or a man feeling like he has to reaffirm his heterosexuality after a few too many "Hey, Zaddy" compliments. It's all about performance and not perception or truth. But over here, we are not performing. We're unpacking, we're unlearning, and we're naming what needs to be named, even when it makes people squirm. So, if you like this, catch me next Monday where we'll sip more truth, spill more tea, and remind this country that we see the scripts. We just ain't reading from them anymore. On the show where gaslighting, grandstanding, and greed ain't governance. Until next time.